How's it going, everyone? Tom Moore here, coming at you live from the Middle Club on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to do a little sharpening today, Saturday. Everyday sharpening day, but it's Sharpening Saturday. Saturday, I actually get a lot accomplished usually because my wife's home, so I don't have to watch my kids and have them come in here while I'm filming stuff. So, try to take advantage of Saturdays. It's kind of my day to work. But today we're going to start off with sharpening this lion steel that came in a big box with a bunch of Spyderco's. This one was in there, and a big Boy Scout knife was in there. So we're going to sharpen this guy today. I think we're going to use our TS Prof Cadet. Let's get this out of here because Hapstone's kind of being sticky. The arm is. I want to clean it, but it's not working out. So Hapstone will work, or the TS Prof will work today. So let's get chamois cloth, a small one. It's just not going in. It's loose. Okay, so we're going to line it up from tip to heel by default, parallel to the jaws, centered on the blade, parallel tip to heel. That will keep our angle the most consistent throughout the arc. We're going to tighten down kind of loosely, take our first stone, and we're going to pretend to sharpen. So this is a new knife to me. I've never sharpened on this before. So before we start, I need to make sure it's set up in the clamp right. So first thing I do is I'm going to go to the heel. I'm going to set the stone on the bevel next to the heel. And this is very close. It depends on what angle. Well, I guess it matters what angle. But at the way this is clamped now, it clears the ricasso by like a millimeter. I don't like that because when I sharpen, I can move. So we're going to see what the angle is. So hopefully it's a higher angle. But this is a case where we're 110% going to use duct or black tape. I want to see if moving this helps at all. It really doesn't. It actually kind of hurts it. Damn. Yeah. In this position, this is the best clamp position for this knife to get the heel exactly like that. So that is. Sometimes I say like knives are meant to be sharpened and some are not thought through. This is one knife that whoever designed this knife was not thinking about someone sharpening it. It will work. It's not impossible by any means. They're able to grind it, but it's something that if you didn't protect this part of the blade 100%, you would nick it or fuck it up. It's so close to the end of the edge, or you just couldn't get the end of the edge. So we're gonna tape that off. I think we're even gonna double tape it off because it's 100% gonna get hit. Okay. Oh yeah. So let me, before I get too far ahead of myself, let me pin this to the top of the group and message the owner that I'm going live. Let's see where he is. Forgot I was going to tell him before I went live, but it's okay. Now to Facebook, to the group, find my post, sort by new posts, pinned featured. Okay, coolio. Okay, so this knife is gonna be sharpenable, but this blade design is not forgiving of mistakes. So we have to be very careful at the heel. That's why I use electrical tape. Save knives all the time. Okay, and now double layer this side. This stuff is very abrasion resistant. This is like just like double protection just in case so it doesn't accidentally rub through or mess up. Okay, let's find the angle. Hopefully it's pretty high. Well, not pretty high, but higher than a Spyderco is. And cut a little bit of this off. Okay, let's marker the edge. And find the angle. Okay, so we're still too low, so it's a pretty high angle. That's good. This will help. It's a pretty high angle. So right about, we're still a little bit too low. It's pretty high. I'm getting there though. Pretty close. Okay, I think we're right there on this side. Let's see how the side lines up. I'm going to try reclamping this without the chamois cloth in there. I'm going to try reclamping this. I don't think it's sitting correctly in the clamp. So it's got a flat spot and it's got a flat grind, but the flat spot's really small. So I'm trying to get the clamp on the flat spot without. Okay. Okay, this side, marker it again. This is centered. Okay, so we are pretty true on this side. This side is not. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see what angle we're at. Hopefully my angle cube is behaving and giving more accurate readings than it was yesterday. I think it was just tired. It was worn out after a long day. It was giving me angles. It was giving me angles that didn't seem right. So we are at 26 degrees. 26, right there. It's a fairly steep edge. M390 steel from Lion Steel. It is a carbon fiber flipper, and we're going to put a mirror edge on this one, I believe. Let me just confirm that. But I think we're mirroring this one, which is fun. So maybe this will be the only one we sharpen today. Guess we'll take a minute. Yeah, mirror edge on the Lion Steel. Let's give him my mirror. Hopefully he can join us. I just messaged him. Yeah, this is not a forgiving blade design to sharpen, so this is 100% recommended to protect your knife before you sharpen something like this, or you will damage the bottom of the blade, which is, to me, as a sharpener, I know I pay attention to that stuff a lot more, but anyone who's like critical of their knives would notice it. But to me, it's like it cuts deeper because when I do it, which happens every I don't know, every 100 knives or 50 knives or whatever happens, just like slightly, it thumbs me out so much. It's like a failure. So I take my time to protect it. The only times that I've recently screwed up a ricasso, I didn't tape it, and I was just lazy because it's a cheap knife. So I still felt bad, but it was a cheap knife. But I nicked the ricasso on one because I didn't tape it. So now I just tape everything I do, no matter what. Even if it's not something that's going to stress me out, I just tape it because you never know. So we got to profile the end of this edge. I don't want to hang out there too much on the heel. So we're just doing strokes away from the end of the heel. There we go. Let's feel for a burr. We got a burr there. Not so much by the tip. We got one at the heel. Little one towards the tip, but we got some more work to do at the tip, feels like. do that for a second. Put my finger underneath the tip to support the stone so it doesn't roll off the tip. Okay, let's go this direction now. Let's see what's going on. Good morning, Facebook user. How's it going? If you're watching this on Facebook, which you are, go hit that StreamYard link on the top of this post that says Enable StreamYard, because that will let me see your name. But thank you for joining me. Okay, let's flip. Okay, we're there. Yeah, now we got to bird the whole edge. It's a pretty decent edge from the factory. It's a little bit, it changed a little bit from tip to heel, but not much. It's not hard to profile. The bevel is, I don't know how much of a difference that makes, but the bevel is smaller, which to me makes edges easier. Well, it makes them easier to mirror because scratches don't stand out so much. But it is profile fast. Okay, got a burr everywhere but the heel. Let's do the heel very delicately. Okay, I think we're good actually. Let's check. Burr, burr, big burr. Okay, the steel is easy to bring up to apex. So now we're going to do one more pass the 150. Kind of try to kill the burr a little bit. It's pretty big. It's pretty noticeable. Line up our scratches. So we're just going to do forward strokes like this. Look in the light for any spots that are going to stand out when we get to our mirror that we won't be able to get out once we go past this stone. So your lowest stone is your foundation of your edge. If you take, people ask me, I don't know why people don't want to spend money on their low grits. People want to spend money on their 2,000, 5,000, 8,000. People are okay with spending money on ridiculously high grit stones from, I don't know. I don't know all the other crap about other. I know about CBN and diamond plates. I don't know about all their whetstones and crap. People spend a lot of money on high grit stones. And to me, the high grit stones, they matter if you want to mirror. But other than that, they do not matter near as much as your profiling stone. So this stone is my 150. I fucking love it. It's the best stone ever. It profiles anything. It leaves a nice finish. It just kicks ass. But people never want to spend money on this stone, but this is your foundation. So if I can get all the scratches out on this stone, I don't have to deal with them when I get to my higher stones. And honestly, if you get too bad scratches and you don't get them out, you won't be able to deal with it and you'll have to go back. So now is the time to make everything look nice. Now is the time to use, this is my most important stone, so it shouldn't be a cheap stone. It should be at least as expensive as everything else, right? Which it is. It's an $80 stone, worth every penny. I've used it a lot over the last year. I use it on every single knife I sharpen uses the 150 at least. At some point, unless it's one of my knives that I'm touching up, then I just go to 400. But if I'm sharpening a knife for the first time, this gets used. Okay, I'm going to check this in the light. There's a spot right there. That's not the same sheen that will show up later. So we're just going to line it up a little bit. Okay. Jump into our 400 grit edge. So now we're just basically reducing the burr and polishing the bevel. We got the edge profiled. We managed to do it without hitting anything. We're taped off, otherwise we would have definitely hit something. So at 400 grit, this is my satin edge. This is like, one more pass and we'd be done with this edge. It looks really nice. It looks nicer than a Spyderco factory edge, a lot less scratchy, with that same kind of matte finish. It looks really nice, and even when you have a little bit of light on it, it's even a little refractive in a cool way. It's matte with a little shine to it. I usually do 2 passes of 400 to kill the burr a little bit more. Okay, jumping up to 800 grit now. We're gonna do this edge to 2K. I don't need to do it up to 8K because it's a smaller bevel and you wouldn't be able to really notice the difference between it. And 2K looks beautiful after I strop it. And it's very sharp. So the 800 grit stone pretty much kills any burrs left. It leaves a nice semi-polished finish very quickly. Like just one pass over something, it's like one side of the stone's shiny, their side's not. It's not a mirror or anything, but it's a very good finish for 800 grit. All my stones leave finishes that to me aren't reflective of other brands. Like, I don't know. This is a nice finish. This is like a KME 1500 grit edge where you could polish it if you stropped it. Should we get the whole end of the edge? That's sometimes when you like tape stuff up, you like kind of have to be careful to make sure you get the entire end of the edge. Like, because there's like a millimeter of stuff that can get left off unsharpened and it's noticeable. Okay, jumping up to 2000. This is our polished stone or mirror stone, whatever you want to call it. But 2K, I can do this, throw it on a strop, and it's a mirror. I can go up to 5K or 8K, and it's noticeable on Spydercos when they have a big bevel and you're taking Instagram photos in certain lights. They're very spectacular looking, but they're not really, it's not a big difference noticeably, and it takes me a lot longer to do those. So this is a $30 edge with this level of polish, and it will look like a mirror for all purposes. This stone, this 2000 stone also, like every stone on this progression kicks ass, but this 2000 stone polishes really exceptionally well. It's a big jump to go from 800 to 2000 usually, but these stones are totally fine doing that. My progression is 80, 150, 400, 800, 2000, 5000, 8000 if I was doing, are all the stones I have. But I don't have anything between some big gaps, and it totally works out fine. Okay, there's one more quick, just in case pass before we polish it. Let's check it in the light, see if we have to go back a stone and get anything. A little bit of our tip, I want to polish up a little better. Reflecting in the light, looks all good, no big scratches, no matte spots. So now we're going to take a 1 micron strop, kangaroo leather, gunny juice infused strop. We're going to set this angle to 26 again. And wipe off the edge, get all the steel shavings off. Set this to 26. So it's about 0.5 degrees different when you switch stones when you're at this angle. So we're going to bring it up so it's flat on the bevel, so we're stropping and polishing like we want. Okay. Doing pulling strokes only. Work our way down the edge. I'm still learning to do this. I'm still pretty new at it. I used to do it on my KME, and then I got good at hand stropping, and I kind of like hand stropping. But since I've been getting into really trying to perfect this craft, I've been getting some just insane edges by stropping on here. So I've just kind of adapted to stropping on here and given up stropping by hand, except for if I have, I don't know, I haven't had a reason to strop by hand since I started doing this again. But I have paddle strops. They're there. They worked for me for a long time. If you don't want to do it on the machine, but on the machine it does work well. I don't know why I was so on board with stropping on a paddle when I'm all about guided systems and I hate hand sharpening, but I was okay with hand stropping. So we're just trying to polish up this bevel as much as possible with the 1 micron. Okay, and now our 0.5 microns strop. And this is what it'll be. Our mirror will be this. It's already mirrored. This is just a little extra credit. My high polished edge goes to 0.1 micron. Or, yeah, 0.1 micron. But I don't even know. I can't. It's so hard to tell the difference between like that level of polish. And it's a lot more time. Careful to avoid your tip on your strop. It's so tempting because the tips always have like little bits of areas that aren't polished right. It's so tempting to want to hit them. Be careful and lift your strop as much as possible when you get to there, because otherwise you'll scar the shit out of your strop. I do it to all of mine. I'm the last person to give advice about that because I constantly do it, but be careful. Okay, we're all good. Let's see how it cuts real quick before we take the tape off. Then I'll do the cleanup and reveal. Cuts quite well. It makes a steep edge, but it cuts really well. Nice. Okay. There we go. We got all that off. Let's give her a cleanup. Chamois cloth and a little bit of Gunny Glow. And I need a new magic eraser. They're getting pretty worn out. Get all that. If you have Sharpie on your edge, it's easy to get off with Gunny Glow and a magic eraser, but it's also easy to get off with a little elbow grease and a magic eraser if you don't have a cleaner. But I don't know how other people get off Sharpie, because it can be really hard to get Sharpie off of your edge. No joke. I get a little bit of tape residue off, no big deal. It's really easy to leave a ghost line of the Sharpie if you don't really scrub it with the magic eraser. Okay. There's our mirror. Looks nice, cuts nice. 26 degree, 2000 grit, 0.5 micron gunny juice edge. on a Lion Steel, an M390 titanium frame lock flipper. Pretty dope ass knife if you ask me. I like it. So Spyderco's coming out with a collaboration with Lion Steel called the Spy Moto. So I'm interested to see what that's like. It'll be made in Italy. It won't be a USA Spyderco. So we will see how that does. Anyway, knife number one. We got some time. I'm not going anywhere right now. I got some viewers, which is good. Sometimes I've been sharpening alone with you guys lately. Been doing this, and I'm like, well, no one's watching. So I appreciate you guys joining me this morning. Okay, we're doing a shaman skinny with a flipper or a nubbin, a little nubbin delete. We're gonna do that. And this is in S30B steel, odd shaped one. There we go. Okay, we're doing a Spyderco, so we're gonna line it up with the heel, with the flat grind line at the heel. Yeah, sharpening the middle of an edge is easy. It's sharpening the heel and the tip that can be problematic. But if you just line it up right, the heel's no problem. It really makes them not that hard. You just line it up and do some scrubbing if you have the right kind of stones. Okay. Okay, we're going to set this to definitely higher than it is now. It's probably right around there. That should be close to 17 degrees or a little bit high, but let's see where we're at. Marker. I'm excited. This is how sad my life is because I do this all day. I'm excited to replace this marker because I have a bunch of fresh Sharpies that are just waiting for me, but I can't give up on this one because it's still got a little life in it and still works. The tip is like cut to shreds. It's very, very much gone. But I'm excited to get to, ooh, it's going to be fresh Sharpie. It'll be so much nicer. Okay. 17 degrees. And we'll see where that lands and see if that's a good place to sharpen at. Right, had to move it about a millimeter, and there we go, 17 degrees. Stone's good, stop collar is good. We are at the correct angle. We are at 17 degrees on that side. And we are a little bit lower than the existing angle on this side, but not too far off that we can't profile it out. So we will leave it 17 degrees and get going. This is going to be a different looking heel than I'm used to doing because it's nub delete shaman. So the edge ends right where the nub used to be. I don't want to take off any material. I want them to keep them as flush as possible. Okay, our tip, we got one of these tips where it's at a low angle and I have to scrub up the edge a bunch of fucking times just for a visual effect so the bevel looks nice. I hate it the way they sharpen these tips. So on tip, I'm just like being careful not to go more than off the edge. Like when I'm at this position, the tip is exposed. When I'm at this position, the tip is almost on the other side of the stone. So I try to just keep the stone over it like that without rolling by putting a little bit of just twist towards the inside so I don't accidentally roll it. Let the stone do the work. Don't press down on this part. And we are, I think, very close to good, if not good. These stones eat metal. It's fabulous. We're good. This isn't a mirror, but I still like my edges to look really, really legit, like I could just mirror them from wherever they are. So we're good there. Good at our heel. A couple quick scrubs to line up the scratches. A little bit of a divot. Now I'm noticing it near the heel. Let's get that out before we switch. There we go. Leave the poor nubs alone. Well, it got circumcised. It got snipped. Okay, this side we're at a lower angle. The existing angle is higher than 17 degrees, so we're going to have the profile this on a bit. Shouldn't be too, yeah, it's not too far off. It'll be fairly quick. It's probably like 18 degrees, and we're taking it down to 17. Okay, the clip side tips are always easier to do. I do not know why, but they're always done better. Like, we're done with that tip. It's good. We're done with the first half of the blades reprofiled already. So just trying to work all the Sharpie off. That's the key to sharpening, is there shouldn't be any marker on your bevel. If you want a nice looking bevel, you should be able to swipe it clean without any little divots or lines or scratches. You should just be able to swipe and have a clean edge. So like, it's kind of misleading when people say use the Sharpie to like set your angle, because like you saw there, one side the Sharpie was perfectly on 17 degrees and one side it was not. So what do? You can split the difference, or you can pick one. We picked one, and that was 17-degree edge because that's what it's supposed to be at. But so the Sharpie stuff is kind of like, it's a guide, but it's not the answer always. Some edges are really effed up. You're basically just looking for whatever. If you're setting the angle to the existing angle, you really just want to look at, when you draw a Sharpie on, what's going to require the least amount of steel to be removed for me to get my end goal of having a nice bevel. That's how you kind of set your angle, is just when it's not clear, just what is going to get the best end result and what's going to not destroy the knife, take too much metal off, whatever. Kill your time. Time is money, but also time is metal. So the more you're grinding on something, the less knife there is left. And eventually you notice it. Okay, let's do this heel a little bit more. What this side looks like. Okay, look about even. So what I like with the system though is I can just pick it up. Like the KO3 TS Prof, the big one, everyone that has it loves it, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But I do. One of the things I like about this is that I can pick it up and set it down with. I mean, I can do it with one hand if I wanted to. It's portable. It's nice size, but it's not too small where it's unstable. I still stabilize it with my hand, but that's just habit. You can do it unstabilized if you just sharpen lightly. But I prefer to put my hand on it. It makes me feel a lot more secure in my abilities. It's just comfortable. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was getting ready to mirror this one. We're not mirroring this, we're satinating it. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. Now we're going to do our 400 grit edge real quick. Strop it and call it good. Well, thank you for joining me, Will. I drive and watch, just saying. You can put it on your dashboard, just don't get pulled over. A little spot that's like showing difference. We're going to go backwards on it with our strokes, and then we're going to go back forward and see if we got rid of it. Sometimes you got to go the opposite direction to get spots to come out. I don't know why. It's weird. But sometimes you'll be stroking one way and you can't get to something, so just kind of mix it up. Okay, last pass to kill the burr. And final touch-ups. And the light looks beautiful. Working that spot a little bit more. There we go. There's another one right there I need to work on a little bit too. There we go. We'll go with the edge, flip it. Strop time. There's a 400 grit edge, so we're using our 3 micron Gunny Juice strop. Going to wipe our edge off. Drop a strop on it. Set this to 17 degrees. Okay. Now let's give this a quick strop. Just pull the burr off, straighten up the edge a little bit. Do one more quick pass. Touched up. Make sure we're all good. No burr left. Lightly polished. 400 grit edge. Okay. Pop her out and give her a cut test. Clean it up. Okay, and there we go. Just a 400 grit satin edge on this Nub Delete S30V Shaman. Nice little heel. Let's give her a cut test. I like a laser. Ooh. This is why I do this though. Right there. Right there is a snag in the edge that I didn't get out. I didn't check this for chips. Shit. Let's see where it is. Let's see if I can get it out. I have to go backwards. Right there. There's a chip. I can see it. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't think there was a chip. So I'm going to mark where the chip is with the marker on the knife like that. Okay, that's where the chip is. And we're going to go get it out. Let's work back to where we were. Not a big deal. We're already profiled. We're already set at close to the right angle. We have to readjust though, actually, because we used the strop. So yeah, this happens. This happens when I get in a rush and I forget to check for stuff like that. But yeah, we got a little chip in the edge. I don't send things back out with chips, obviously. But that is why I do the paper cut test like that, so this doesn't happen. So to get this little chip out, we're going to do a method of adjusting the angle up to like 20, like way up past the bevel, and we're just going to work that one spot with the stone. And then we're going to come back and then clean up the bevel at the right at 17 degrees. So right now we are at like 24 degrees. We're cleaning up just this little chip at a much higher degree, so we can just take the chip out. It just works better. I don't know why, but doing this works 100 times better than just leaving it at the same angle. Like the chip's already almost gone. It'll be gone soon. So this was a learning experience, right? Okay, take my fingernail, right down the edge, and the chip is gone. It's that simple. So raise it a couple degrees to get chips out. It's a lot faster. I mean, we already sharpened that with a freaking 150 at 17 degrees. It should have got it out, but it didn't. But when we raise it up, it gets it right out, and now we're good to adjust back to 17. When you move the TS Prof Cadet, when you move the blade like more than 1 or 2 degrees, you need to re-zero it on the rod, because it this point where you're balanced the stone on moves a little. It doesn't stay stationary. So this stays stationary. This is like in a little arc. This doesn't go up and down, but your edge moves a little bit, so you have to re-zero it. So I was a ½ degree off moving it from 24 to 17. So re-zero it, and then you can put your angle back to where it needs to go. Now we just sharpen this real quick. We didn't take much off. We just kind of straightened out that stupid little chip. So just sharpening at the right angle until we get a burr. And then we can quickly move on to our 400 grit stone. Okay, so we're still working this bevel out. You can see there's a little sliver of burr from the other side that's not been flipped yet because we're not at the right angle. So we got to keep on scrubbing on this until we get the burr from the other side completely flipped over to where it was. On this side we profiled more than the other side. This side's got a little more to go. Still working on getting this burr. I broke the burr off. We still have a burr that's still on the side, which means we aren't there yet. Let's flip this so we don't get uneven. Now I'm trying to make the burr a little bit bigger so I can kill it. Yeah, chips can be a bummer, but man, there's nothing I hate more than getting a little microchip in an edge, because I can't carry it anymore. I literally will put the knife away and it's like, okay, I'll carry something else until it gets sharpened out. Okay, we got to kill this burr from the other side. Let's see if we're there yet. Still not quite there yet. That was very efficiently took off that freaking chip. Now we're trying to reprofile back to 17. It's taking a minute. Still got a little burr on the other side. So right now the burr's curled up, which means I'm not profiled. It means I'm still not quite apex yet. So we're going to give it a couple more scrubs. We're getting close, but as soon as it apexes, that burr will just like disappear and flip over. So until then, we're not there. Pretty simple. Okay, I'm going to flip it to keep it even. Keeping the edge even, so I'm not just concentrating on one spot. I'm trying to work the whole edge now. This was more work than anticipated. I thought it would have been profiled a while ago. Come on, we can get there. We can get this burr. We're so close. Okay, I think we might have got there finally. Flip this side again. Keep it even. Clean up that burr. Okay, now we're running our fingernail along the edge. There's no chips, hopefully. We got a burr. Let's flip to this side. Let's go back to our 400 grit stone and redo it. Sometimes this happens. You just got to account for it. You just got to accept that sometimes you'll get through a whole knife and you have to go back through and start over. It's not a big deal, but it does happen. I mean, we spent an extra 10 minutes doing that because of that chip on a knife that was otherwise sharp as hell. But that's okay. This will make it better. Because with that chip, it was very slight. It was very subtle, but it took a bit to get out. Okay, one more pass. Then we'll drop it again. Okay, back to our strop. Set this, clean this edge off again. quick pull off the burr. Make sure this is snapped in right. Yeah. You don't have to strop a ton. People, most part, overstrop. I think I still overstrop. Like, we're not trying to get a mirror here, so really we want to do this as minimum as possible, so we can keep it kind of aggressive. Like, if you can strop forever, and it'll just get dull eventually. It'll lose any aggression, and it won't cut paper nice. So you don't want to overstrop. It looks good. It looks good. Okay, let's cut with it again. Make sure it's good before I clean it up. Ah, no more snags. Cuts the whole edge like a laser. There we go, folks. 17 degrees, 400 grit satin edge on a skinny shaman. Now we're just going to give it a quick spray down, get this marker off from where we spotted the chip. I always mark where the chips are because once you start sharpening, it's really easy to just start doing the whole edge without paying attention. Like, where was it? Maybe I should go farther this way. Yeah, Sharpie's on there. Good. Cool. Well, thank you all for joining me. That took a little bit longer than expected to do 2 knives, but we did 2 knives. And I'll be back later. It's Sharpening Saturday. Don't miss FFIB tonight with me and Jason. Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I am Tom Moore, coming at you from the Millie Club on Facebook and YouTube. If you're on Facebook, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, you have to join the Facebook group because you got it. It's just a necessity. Just say, how did I find this group? YouTube. It's a question when you apply. Go apply right now. So anyway, there's a link to apply on my profile. Follow me on Instagram at Thomas O. Moore. Peace out. I'll see you guys later. More sharpening fun.